So as all great end of the world sci-fi type movies ends, they leave it with the title The Beginning. Yeah, this is hey everybody. It's old Roger D on Channel Downstar with his 31 Days of Halloween Horror. Yes, my little tribute to Vince Rotolo of the B-Moviecast. Link will be down below in the message area. Please check out the cast. It is now being continued by his wife and his wife Mary and Juan from the creepy swamps of Florida. And Nick Brown, writer extraordinaire, has a new movie coming out. They've decided to continue on with the podcast, and it's been wonderful so far. So far, it's early. But it's so great that they're continuing in Vince's footsteps and to continue to keep the B-Moviecast alive. Anyway, so that's why I'm watching all the B movies over Halloween. And tonight was no exception. Tonight is one of those. Well, now that I've seen it again, it's not one of my favorites. But it used to be one of those that whenever I thought of B movies and Paul, I keep saying Paul Blaisdale's monsters, I always think of this one. But after watching it, it's like, yeah, there's better ones. There's better ones. The Day the World Ended, 1955, I believe. One of the first features directed by Roger Corman. Might have been his third or fourth. Starring Richard Denning, who's a main staple of the B-movie monster movies. Mike Connors of Mannix. Didn't expect to see him here. Peter Graves, yeah. Chuck Connors, yeah. Although I thought that Richard Denning was Chuck Connors for a while, and I was like, no, that's not him. That's somebody else. Paul Birch, who's a really beefy, manly character actor. He's like the father of Lori Nelson, I believe, and then there's another girl in there, Adele Jackson, Jurgens, something like that. Anyway, why in movies like this, in B-movie movies, why is there always a woman in like an evening gown being caught up? The first thing I thought of was Night of the Living Dead, with Harry and what's her name? And although she wasn't dressed to the hilt, they both were kind of dressed like they were going to a party, and they stumbled across this zombie apocalypse. In this case, Day the World Ended. Corman presented us with the nuclear age, dropping the H-bomb, dropping the nuclear bomb, and the survivors. A little tiny little story of the survivors of this getting together in a little old farmhouse, along with a guy and his goat. That's the other actor I didn't mention. But, oh, excuse me. Oh, I couldn't stop that. A lot of things I can't stop. But yeah, it's a guy and his goat, and it's a lot of testing for radiation. Don't go outside. There's a lot of relationship stuff going back and forth. There's the old Mike Connors bad guy. I'm going to shoot what's his name because I want her and we'll survive. It's all about a bunch of malarkey, really. Really, 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 really. All you are here in this movie for is what you saw on the movie poster, which I will put it up. You want to see that damn monster attacking a girl, and you do get to see it. I brought up Paul Blaisdell. He plays the creature in there, and it's one of his fantastic monster designs. Some people might look at it and go, well, it's a gorilla costume with a weird head. But that design with the horn and the kind of an antennae and then these little, like almost children's arms growing out of his shoulders. He's hairy all the way through except for the arms. They're just hanging there. And he's got such a demonic face, a devil-like face to this creature. And again, I brought this up before. I'd love to have all these figures, and I know there's a figure out there. But I don't know, maybe because they're painted in color, and if they were done in gray scale and dark gray, black and white, they would look better. I don't know. Saucerman just doesn't look good. She Creature just doesn't look good. The mutant from Day the World Ended just doesn't look good to me in those figures. In the movie themselves, they're fantastic. I love them. All right, where am I? My mind is, it's been a bad week. It's been a really bad week. And my mind is all over the place with lots of worries and lots of things like that. But I figured I'd trudge on through. Still the early of the month. I got a long way to go to the end of the month. But it's still early in the month, and I felt like doing these. And, okay, so, yeah, there's not much I need to tell you about this. Day the World Ended is a pretty good 1955 early Roger Corman monster movie. I would say Paul, I keep saying Paul Baisdale, early monster movie. I look at him more than I look at Corman. Corman was making movies. Baisdale was creating art, these signature looking monster characters that stayed with you for decades and decades. My God. And the mutant from Day the World Ended is one of them. So that's what I watched tonight. I really don't have much more to talk about. Yeah, so we'll see in the next Halloween movie watch over here on Channel Dawnstar, the 31 B-Movie Horror. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.